The cup was filled with dirt, but the prisoner had to pretend he was drinking coffee. When the guards weren't looking, he'd quietly dump the soil into the trash. To escape this prison, he had to pull out every trick in the book. Mike started by punching a hole through the ceiling, then chiseled it into a square shape and used a hacksaw to cut through the gaps. To avoid leaving any traces, someone was assigned to catch the falling debris. The plan was to remove a single intact slab, but the next moment, chunks of rubble came crashing down and scattered across the floor. The accident startled everyone. They had to seal the hole immediately. If the guards spotted it, they'd be in serious trouble. But right at that moment, a guard showed up downstairs to make his rounds. The prisoners split up fast. One guy rushed downstairs, grabbed a guitar, and started singing loudly to slow the guard down. Others ran to the kitchen for eggs. Some went next door to borrow a poster, and the rest got to work cleaning up the room. They wrapped the dirt in a rug and dumped it into a travel bag. Next, they tore up some newspaper and tossed the scraps into the trash, added water, cracked all the eggs into it, mixed in a bunch of dirt and flour, and kneaded it all together into a large ball of dough. The dough was just the right size to plug the hole in the ceiling. Finally, they covered the spot with a poster. Meanwhile, the guard made his way up to the second floor. As his footsteps drew closer, the prisoners started splashing water to wash away the dust and brushed off their clothes. Just then, the guard stopped outside the door. Seeing the nervous looks on the prisoners' faces, he grew suspicious. The guards began searching every corner of the room, starting with the blankets and mattresses, then moving to the bookshelves and finally the posters. One guard even ripped off every single poster, including the ones on the ceiling. Luckily, right at the critical moment, a supervisor outside called for them to pull back, and the prisoners narrowly escaped disaster. But that hole in the ceiling wasn't actually their escape route. It was just a hiding spot for all the dirt, since the space above was large enough to store it. The real tunnel was being dug from a corner on the first floor. They first measured the distance with a ruler, then used a saw blade to cut through, and finally pried open the wall with a larger file, eventually hollowing out all the bricks inside. To conceal the opening, Mike and John built a square mold, prepared some dough the same way as before, and filled the container with concrete. Once it hardened, it became a fake wall panel. They fitted the piece into the wall and covered the cracks with a paste made from white paint. To the naked eye, it looked just like a normal wall, virtually undetectable. They bagged up the excavated dirt and quietly carried it up to the second floor room. Through the hole in the ceiling upstairs, the soil was stashed in the roof space. To avoid the guards' patrols, they set up lookouts from the first floor all the way to the second. The moment a guard got close, a signal would be given. Work in the room would stop immediately, and everything would be restored to its original state. But then something went wrong. One day, John was heading upstairs with a bag when he ran right into a guard. The guard suspected something was off and ordered him to open the bag for inspection. With no other choice, John unclipped the bag. Inside wasn't dirt, just a few personal items. John thought that would be the end of it, but the guard told him to come down to the office. Once downstairs, John set the bag on the ground, and Mike quietly grabbed the contents. When they got to the office, the guard was about to inspect the bag but realized it was gone. Although he didn't press the matter further, it definitely raised his suspicions. After this close call, Mike and the others decided the method was too risky, so they came up with a new plan. Cut another opening in the first floor ceiling. This way, dirt could be passed directly from the first floor hole up to the second floor, then through the room and into the ceiling space above. It was not only safe,